Hello, Portsmouth High School. This is Tom Spear again from 10th Gate Yoga, and this is week 2 of our video recordings for you on stress management, self-regulation, and generally just some breathing practices to help you get through these times. I'd like to just review last week briefly. Hopefully you were able to access the video maybe once or twice and go through the practices. We did 2 things last week. The very first practice we did was the box breath, which is that inhale for 4 counts, holding the inhale for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts, and then holding the breath out for 4 counts. Doing that for several minutes, 2 to 3 minutes at a time. And then if you can, extending to even longer, 4 to 5 minutes. If you were able to do that, I would be willing to bet that you notice a good change in how you felt about things, how much more clarity you were able to start to experience. So that is just a go-to. It should be something that you're utilizing. It could be many times a day. But it should be something that you turn to. You should not have any hesitation about using it because it just plain works. And find the ways in which you can remember it, practice it, and incorporate it into a daily routine. Second thing that we practiced last week was called long, deep breathing. And this is just simply a perfect way for us to breathe properly in terms of expanding the belly and abdomen as we take that deep breath in, and to obviously go back in the opposite direction on your exhales. That alone, long deep breathing, does so much to calm things down. So if you're feeling anxious, you're feeling stressed because of all of what's happening, this is another tool that works every single time. It's easy. All you have to do is stretch out your breath so it's a long, smooth inhale. It's an equal, long, smooth exhale. That's what we're really all about. It's very simple practices that will work immediately and are designed to help calm down the inside landscape, the mental space, and in the process, give you a little clarity, give you focus, so you can deal with the things that you have to deal with. You've still got homework, you've still got classes that you have to work through. There are still some requirements before the end of this year. Having these tools just will make your navigating all of those processes that much smoother. So again, those 2 from last week should be something that you are turning to, that you can utilize when it's needed. Today, I'm going to introduce 2 other practices for us. The first one is really designed to help us get out of this hugely agitated space up here in the brain, because we have so many things that we're trying to deal with. You know, all of this new environment of staying at home and distance learning and all the restrictions, it's really creating a lot of challenge. And our minds are really full. So this first practice involves a few things. They're basically little tricks that will help to just focus the mind on less things. Instead of 100,000 things that are going through your head at once and just spinning everything, how if we just bring it down to a few things? And when we start to be able to get that to happen, a whole lot of frustration and the cloudiness and the fogginess and the lack of clarity starts to get better. So this first one will involve a breath sequence and also a hand position, because this is, again, something for the mind to focus on, to take its attention. So I'll show you the hand position first, then we'll go into the breath sequence. Then we'll practice this for 5 or 6 minutes or so, enough time that you'll start to notice a little shift. So the first thing on the hand positions, we're going to take our pinkies and we're joining them together. We're taking our thumbs, we're joining them together. It's 4 points, the pinkies, the thumbs. That leaves the three middle fingers, the index, the middle, and the ring fingers. Bring them, if you can, so they're touching side to side, but they're not touching the other hand. So it looks just like this. Pinkies and thumbs touching at the tips, the other three fingers touching each other side to side, but not the other hand. So just bring that into your chest and just hold it there. It should be comfortable right here. But this gives the mind something to focus on. Can I hold this position? Is this okay? Everything solid right here? Yes, indeed. So that's the first part. Second part is the breath sequence, which is in 4 parts. What you're going to do to start is you're going to take a breath in through your mouth. So it's a big inhale. Close the mouth at the top of that inhale, and then exhale out through your nose. Then inhale through the nose. And then exhale out through the mouth. So we're just kind of flipping the sequence. Inhale mouth, exhale nose. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. That's it. It's pretty simple. It actually does a lot of things, though, for this simplicity. As I mentioned, it's going to keep the mind just focusing on a couple of things. Follow this breath, hold these hands properly instead of 10,000 things. We also are bringing a lot of oxygen in. We're breathing more deeply, which is very good for the nervous system. We're doing actually a lot of different things simultaneously. So let's get into position. Sit comfortably wherever that you're at. If you're sitting in a chair, just bring both feet flat on the floor. If you're sitting on the ground, cross-legged, just keep a straight spine. You can close your eyes. I'd recommend that. That'll help just take some of the agitation and the activity of the mind out of the picture, literally. And let's start the breath. Let's inhale mouth. Exhale nose. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Inhale mouth. Exhale nose. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Let's continue. As you maintain this rhythm, just try to stretch the breath out longer and longer, deeper and deeper. Try to stay that I'm at now by listening and deepening the breath. These last 2 minutes, just try to really stretch things out deeper and fuller. Last minute. Now just holding the hands where they are, take a breath in through your nose. Suspend the breath at the top. Just hold everything in. Close the eyes. Be just as quiet as you can. Now just let the breath out slowly and gently through the nose. Release the hands down and just try to observe. Are you noticing anything that's changed in the 7 minutes that we were practicing? How does the breath feel? Has the mind become any more quiet? So let's take a full breath in through our nose, filling, expanding. Exhale, releasing the breath, contracting the stomach back in. So that's a simple way in which we can bring the mind down to focusing on less things at once, concentrating on just a couple of tasks, which is very much like what the homework is requiring. It's not requiring you to do 1,000 things at once. It's requiring you to do 2 or 3 things at once. Focus on whatever the task is, the question, the problem that you're solving, and then draw the resources from yourself to figure that out, to get an answer, or write whatever it is you have to write. So that's what this first practice was about, is to help us get to a place where we can concentrate more clearly, where we have the ability to hold a thought and or focus for a period of time. Not just 10 seconds or 5 seconds or 2 seconds. So again, you'll have the access to this video for this whole, so you can come back to this and again, and then use it before you do your homework. Use it in the middle of your homework. It's just a tool that is always to be available for this whole entire week. So our second practice is one to help calm you down. That's a big task. That's a big challenge for us every day. But there are absolutely ways that you can do something within a few minutes' time to just bring yourself to a very quiet place. So that's what this next practice is going to be. It's very, very simple. It's just simply a sequence of a breath cycle. You're going to inhale. It's almost like the box breath, but we're missing the fourth stage box. What we're going to do now is we're going to inhale those on a 5 count. So you're going to go 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. That's how long you take your inhale. Then you're going to hold the breath in that inhale space for 5 more counts. And then you're going to slowly exhale the breath out in 5 counts. So it's a very even breath. 5, 5, 5. 5 inhale, 5 suspending the inhale, 5 exhale. And you just move right from the exhale into the beginning of the next one. So it's a very easy cycle to maintain. This, however, by slowing the breath down in this sequence, brings our breath rate down. And you may have, if you were in some of our classes, we were at the high school, slowing down the breath, slow down the mind. It's a 1-to-1 equation. The more you slow the breath down, the more you slow down the brain activity, the speed at which the mind is working. Why do we want to do that? Well, if you've taken in all that you've taken in every day, and you're also dealing with the stress of all of this uncertainty, there's plenty of things to get your mind really wound up. Some of that is good information. A lot of it is just accumulating stress and anxiety. That's the part we want to remove. That's the part we don't really need to have hanging around all the time. So this sequence will help you to just move into a place where there's a lot less activity of the mind, there's a lot less stress that you're feeling, and there's a lot more calmness. So this is a great practice you can do just before going to bed. I know, and I'm hearing that a lot of people are having difficulty sleeping because of all of what's going on. So this could be something you could do just before going to bed, a few minutes, moves you into a very gentle, relaxed, which hopefully is going to facilitate going to sleep easily. Okay, it's very simple. 5 count inhale, 5 count holding the breath in that inhale, 5 count exhaling out slow, 5 counts, 5 counts, 5 counts. Okay, so let's get ready. Sitting up straight. Close your eyes again if you can. That's so important if you can close the eyes to maintain that closed eye positioning just a quiet, because when our eyes are open, we're taking in everything. So let's begin. Holding the breath for 5 counts. Exhaling out for 5 counts. Inhaling for 5 counts. Holding the breath for 5 counts. Exhaling for 5 counts. Inhale for 5. Holding for 5. Exhaling for 5. Inhaling for 5. Holding for 5. Exhaling for 5. You continue now on your own cycle, 5, 5, and 5. Just 1 minute left, so continue. Now take a smooth breath in through your nose. Inhaling completely. Hold the breath in at the top. Be very still. Close the eyes. And now just slowly let the breath out. Just hold yourself still. Be very quiet. Don't move. Let the breath be very gentle. Eyes are closed. And just observe the state that you're in, the changes that you're able to notice. Take a smooth breath in, fully, completely. And exhale. So good job, everyone. We've reached the end of our second week, our second video. This will be available to you all week. So you'll have plenty of opportunities to come back and practice these two sequences. First one would be great. I'm preparing for some of the homework or in the middle of the homework that you're dealing with, the class lessons. Gives you focus, helps the mind to be doing less things so it can concentrate. Second practice, just to bring everything down to a very quiet, stable, calm state. Can also be great just before going to bed, just to help you make that transition easily and quietly, quickly. Last thing, as we had last week, this is the link and the scan code if you'd like to participate in this survey on how your experiences are going. If the scan code does not cooperate with your camera and your phone, you can copy this link. It'll take you to the same place. Please fill it out. It would be excellent to get your feedback and your observations on how these practices are working for you. And I'll be back with another video in another week. So have a terrific week, everyone. And someday soon, the weather will be warmer and we'll be able to be enjoying the outside just a little bit more than lately. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Take care now.